Hey folks, this is Will, and I thought today we'd talk bandanas. So at our event, we use a number of different ways to keep track of things that you might not otherwise be able to notice in, just automatically. Um, and so I'll start with the things you're going to see most frequently, and that is the green bandana. And what the green bandana signifies is that whoever is wearing it is out of character. Now, this might be because they are a guide and they are leading a mob of zombies off to spawn somewhere in the world. If they're wearing green on their head, they are out of character. You ignore them, you pretend they're not there. If you think, like if you call out to someone and you realize after that, oops, they're out of character, you can go, it was nothing, it was just the wind. Now, that does not mean that every time someone walking by with a green headband or with their hand on their head like this, which indicates they're out of character, or their weapon on their head that also indicates they're out of character, that doesn't mean a breeze blows through. It was just the wind is a way of explaining a momentary state of confusion when you're like, oh wait, there's something walking down the road. Oh, never mind, they're out of character. So we don't say they were out of character, we say, oh, it was just the wind. While we're at it, if it's night, it's kind of hard to see these. So even if you have one on, kind of holding your hand so that it's really obvious that you're out of character, will help prevent some confusion. Now, the second one is the orange bandana or orange light on the head. So orange bandana on the head or orange light on the head indicates that the person with that bandana or light on their head is non-combat. And what non-combat means is, for some reason, and that reason may be they just don't want to get hit with a weapon, they have decided to be a non-combat player at our event. And that's totally okay, because it's not everybody's thing, because it's not something that some people can physically do. Like if you've got a shoulder injury or something along those lines, or something that is, limiting your ability to do combat successfully, or makes it unsafe to engage with combat. That's what this is for. If you see someone with an orange headband, and like say you're a raider, you're portraying a raider, and you go up to interact with them, you don't swing on them, but you will hold your weapon out and just at a steady pace, just count out your damage, like 1, 1, 1. Normally we don't call damage in DR unless it's like a skill call or something, but when someone is wearing an orange headband and they have opted to, instead of having people swing at them, you're just gonna be within a couple paces of them and point at them and call your damage, and they're just gonna take it until they run away, or they use a skill or whatever. With the non-combat option, that means you don't fight, but that does not render you immune to the threats of the zombie apocalypse. And that's something you can, if you want to decide to do that halfway through an event, that's fine. Just make sure it's consistent and it's visible. The third identifier is the blue. Usually people tie them around their arms. It's fine if you want to put it on your head. But for people's first 3 events, we hand out blue armbands to signify that someone's new. Now, this is done for a number of reasons, but your first handful of games at a new event, or your first anything, like your first time going to a new game store, your first time going out to like a new club, a new bar, a new, you know, social establishment of any kind can be intimidating. And if you're anything like me, like my first DR event, I talked to the people that I knew. And then I was ditched. And then I had to make new friends. But with this, we have the option of being like proactively engaged. Of going, oh, okay, they're new. Here's how we can proactively get them involved in things. We have stuff for all our brand new players that we, from the operations side of stuff, you do to engage. But this is a way for all of our players to have that heads up. Now, this is optional. You do not have to wear this if you are new. And if you don't want to, okay, cool. But so that's a quick introduction to the various things you may see on people's heads during the event. If it's green, or if someone's got their hand to their head or their weapon to their head, ignore them. They've got a reason for doing what they're doing. That's okay. The play space is always in play, so if you need to walk somewhere, walk somewhere. But if stuff like, say you need to decompress from a fight, or say you need to decompress from a super emotional mod, and you don't want to worry about talking to people in between where you're starting and where you're getting to our out of character area, this is okay. Like, if you need it, this is okay. But try, when you're traveling, try to travel in character as frequently as possible, because that's kind of the fun of it. Non-combat, new player. So thank you so much for taking a few minutes to listen, and I'll see you in the Wasteland.